Today, I'll focus on an important fear you need to overcome to excel in the content game, the fear of judgment. And I'll explain 3 different ways that fear manifests itself and how you can deal with it. This segment is brought to you by Lil Nouns, an expansion DAO based on the famous Nouns DAO, who fund cool creative endeavors which can proliferate the Nounish meme. It's pretty difficult to put yourself out there to the world to showcase your skills, provide your opinions, and try to provide value when you do not know how that will be received, or if anyone will find valuable what you have to share. It's pretty common amongst internet creators to obsess over engagement metrics, get paranoid every time the algorithm changes as it might destroy the attention you've worked so hard to build up. How do you get over these fears and keep pushing on to achieve your creative goals? I'll explain 3 fears I see and how to deal with them. The first is the fear of no judgment at all. In a weird way, the worst type of judgment is when it's completely absent, when no one even deems your work influential enough to comment on positively or negatively because your work is not yet considered important, useful, or popular. The only way to deal with that is to keep going, because every day is another day to create something better than yesterday, but there are ways to do that. After a period of less far-reaching tweets, Sammy's recent thread on EtherVista hit more than 1,000 likes, 200 retweets, and 335k views. High-effort long-form content will get rewarded eventually. Alternatively, you don't need to go viral if that's not your vibe. People love honesty and real takes, so you can build an authentic audience by being real and not chasing the algorithm. My favorite tweeter in that regard is Turbo, who just fires off the dome, real thoughts and feelings, and people connect with that authenticity. And I think once you figure out what you're trying to achieve and how best to express yourself online, just keep posting. And if you don't know how best to express yourself, keep posting until you do. The second fear is external judgment. Once you start to get a little bigger, people will start to say mean things about the way you go about your business. Sometimes that criticism might be valid, but sometimes it might just be aggressive, angry people online. Valid criticism is actually super helpful, but for every other spiteful and angry post you receive, you have to know the person on the other side cannot be in a good place when they are posting that. I learned this from Gary Vee, who painted this picture. He said, imagine what your life must look like if you not only get angry at someone who you do not know online, but you actually spend your time trying to tear them down for whatever reason. There can't be many better ways for them to spend their time if what they choose to do with their precious time is to hate on you. So don't let them get you down to where they are. Rise above it. I didn't really use social media much when I was younger, and I really needed to hear that as I got older. So random online anger just doesn't hit me anymore. And then finally, internal judgment. Sometimes your harshest critic is yourself. And even if you can deal with other people's judgment, you can kill yourself in your own mind. In Shakespeare's Hamlet, he says, nothing is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Whilst that's not true all the time, there's definitely an aspect of not spiraling into a dangerous routine of self-annihilation by being so harsh on yourself. What I've always noticed is that the way I've judged myself, sometimes I would never judge anyone else. Maybe sometimes that's helpful, but often it doesn't create the conditions for long-term success. So start to treat yourself like you would a friend. You can be frank and honest and true without cutting yourself up every day. The key conclusion is this: everything you do will be slightly embarrassing to your future self, because your future self will be so much better than you are now.